God dang it, I'm talking about the far thing. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I love to talk tech, sneakers, and anything creative. Today I'm going to talk about the 5 things I love about that right there. The number one thing, well, not the number one, but the first thing that I love about this bad boy right here is the design. Now, there is one design flaw I'm not too much of a fan of, and that's the lack of opening it and the lack of ports in the front. But outside of those two things, as far as like aesthetics and the way this thing looks, it looks amazing. It looks great. It's sleek. If you look at my custom PC that's right there, that thing is big, it's massive, it's a tower, it's huge. But then you look at this bad boy right here, which has crazy specs as well. You would never know that there's that much packed inside of this thing by looking at it. It just looks like a screen with a stand. Yo, Apple got that aesthetic thing on lock, although it does come with its caveats, but we're not here to talk about that. I just want to say that I love the way this thing looks. The second thing I love about this bad boy is Mac OS. I said it 1,000 times, I prefer Mac OS over Windows. I mean, they both been around forever. Microsoft has not gotten it. But it's just the workflow, the grind, the ebb and flow, just the all around harmony is not there in Windows. Windows is like a bunch of pieces, it's like a puzzle that's given to you and you have to put it together. And a lot of people can't figure out the puzzle. Apple is just like, bam. A lot of times it's automatic with Apple. Every time I have those moments on Mac OS, I need to make a note of it. And I need to reference what it takes to do that on Windows to give better perspective, because there is perspective needed between the two. Now there's caveats, pros and cons to both, but at the end of the day, Mac OS is A1, and that's my second thing that I love about this bad boy, Mac OS. Now the third thing I love about this bad boy right here is workflow and editing. Now I'm Premiere Pro all day. I'm gonna mess with Final Cut. That's still coming. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna do the Final Cut thing. But Premiere Pro all day. The MacBook Pro couldn't cut it, but the iMac Pro cuts it, and it cuts it well. Cuts it like butter, baby. It gets it going. My workflow, my editing, my vibe inside Adobe is not hindering my creative process, and that's what you want out of anything that you're using. My custom PC was good and great too, but there were a couple of hiccups in the custom PC that aren't hiccups on the iMac Pro. Now when I do my custom PC versus the iMac Pro, you are going to see firsthand a lot of those things that I'm talking about, and it just makes the flow, this vibe, and the creativity continue without hiccup, hindrance, or lag. That's something I can't say for the MacBook Pro, I not. So I'm gonna just leave that there. Workflow, editing, just all around, like it does it. You got 8 cores to mess with, 10 or 12 if you're nasty, and I think 18 if you're just sick with it. But yeah, I'm 8 cores. Okay. Yeah. The fourth thing I love about this bad boy right here is hard drive speeds. The hard drive speeds on this thing are ridiculous. I'll show you the Black Magic and you'll just see for yourself. This thing is flying. Gigabits per second, just all up in this place. It is super fast. That comes in handy when pulling from the hard drive and right into the hard drive. It makes everything so much more faster. The transferring the files, I'm moving big 4K files from my SD card to there and back and forth. Same thing, Premiere Pro is pulling and reaching and then writing. It's doing it all crazy fast. Like the hard drives that Apple is using and the speeds you're getting out of them, A1. Now I know on the PC there's comparable. I think the M.2 SSDs are A1. That's pretty much the same thing you got inside of this bad boy, but I'm just telling you, the hard drive speeds are amazing. It flies, it's optimized, and it matters. The fifth thing that I love about this thing that I didn't think that I would love is Thunderbolt 3. Now, when you get the MacBook Pro, that's all you got. That's your only option. So you're stuck with that. When you get this bad boy, you do have the Thunderbolt 3. I think like 4 of them. But you also get the USB 3. The regular joints, you know what I mean? The typical joints. So you can plug those peripherals still in this. But Thunderbolt 3 is amazing. The speeds, we talking up to 40 gigabits per second because it's a form of USB-C. It's just the fastest one out right now. USB-C is 10 gigabits per second. Thunderbolt 3 is 40. Big difference. 4 times the speed, as well as the ability to, daisy chain. You got all of these like awesome, crazy, expensive Thunderbolt 3 docks, but they offer so much more. Like all of the ports, display ports, HDMI ports with the RAID, all in one type of packages. And you can daisy chain those things through Thunderbolt without losing a step. Big workstations, big projects, doing big things, doing a lot of grind. And I can't tell you enough. Hey, look, boy, 1 second. To all the suckers out there, why you do 4K? Nobody's watching 4K on YouTube. It doesn't matter what you have to say because I like shooting 4K. I'm shooting 4K, regardless of what your argument is. Yes, HD is fine. 1080. Most people probably watching 1080, 720. I'm fine with that. My 1080 and 720 is a lot more crispier than your 1080 and 720. At the end of the day, I want to shoot 4K. It's my preference. I want to be comfortable dealing with this file format. When it becomes the standard, I'm chilling. Probably on 8K by that point. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying ahead of the curve. Eventually, displays on smart devices will be 4K. I'm losing my train of thought because I started off talking about Thunderbolt 3. So let's get back to Thunderbolt 3. Fastest thing out right now, and the daisy chaining, and there's so much more. Go look it up, man. Go just do a Google search. What is Thunderbolt 3? And go find out for yourself. Because I ain't finna tell you all that extra, stuff. So, but I'm gonna tell you now that it's something that I love. It's the 5th thing that I love. That was the 5 things that I love about the iMac Pro. My name is CJ. This is CJKnowsTECH. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Smash that like button. Smash that sub button. I love to talk tech, sneakers, and anything creative. This is the 5 things that I love about that thing. I love you, man. All you haters that hate Apple, after that, let me give you a hug, man. You know what I'm saying? You just need a hug. I know. You just need a hug. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? I think about maybe 10 things at once. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think I'm gonna end this right now.